Korak, this is Priscilla, this is Katie, this is Miss Pucci, and this is Liang. If you could, imagine that you have graduated from your dream college and have worked tirelessly for years to fully pay off your college debt. Now picture your peers having their debt erased while you have worked diligently and continuously to pay off that same debt. Is this an equitable way to boost the economy? My purpose today is to persuade you that forgiving student debt is unfair and can lead to economic consequences in the long run. I'm qualified to speak on this topic because I'm a student currently looking to go into college with these issues that could impact my life. And I have researched this topic thoroughly and previously delivered a speech on the pros and cons of forgiving student debt. My main points today that I will discuss are that forgiving student debt is unfair to those who have already paid off their debt, how forgiving student debt encourages the abuse of the loan system, and how forgiving student debt could lead to economic consequences in the long run. Let's look at the first point, how forgiving student debt is unfair to those who have already paid off their debt. According to Melanie Hansen from Education Data Initiative in 2024, approximately 20% of Americans have student debt paid off, many of whom have made sacrifices to pay it off. For instance, a person trying to pay off their debt would maybe miss out on a family trip or not be able to afford their dream car. Similarly, Lindsay Burke at the Heritage Foundation in 2021 states that many Americans have cut back on luxuries to meet their loan obligations, creating a sense of injustice for those who have fulfilled their financial responsibilities. For example, someone who gets out of college with thousands of dollars of student debt and gets it forgiven wouldn't be fair to someone who has spent years cutting back on splendors in life to pay off their debt. The unfairness people feel from having someone cut in line is similar to this. They're taking a shortcut while others don't have to wait. Now that we have covered how student debt forgiveness is unfair, let's examine how forgiving student debt encourages abuse of the loan system. As mentioned by Kyle Shaner at the University of Cincinnati in 2024, student debt forgiveness may lead to irresponsible borrowing behavior, as individuals might take on loans without considering the long-term implications, that their debt will be eventually forgiven. For instance, an uninformed borrower can apply for a loan and expect it to be repaid by others, thus removing the financial responsibility from the borrower. This creates a cycle where college institutions may continue to raise the tuition rates, knowing that loans will be readily available to uninformed borrowers. A Bankrate report from 2024 remarks that 43 million Americans have student debt, and with the average student loan debt rising significantly, many colleges increase tuition in response to it. Finally, let's discuss the potential negative economic consequences of widespread student debt forgiveness. Scott Horsley from NPR in 2022 notes that forgiving student debt could result in increased inflation, as the sudden influx of disposable income might drive up demand for goods and services without a corresponding increase in supply. Moreover, could lead to higher taxes or reduced funding for essential public services, as the government would need to cover the cost of debt forgiveness. The analysis by Scott Horsley indicates that such a move would require raising taxes on the middle class, disproportionately affecting those who don't hold student debt. Now, let's review the key points that we have discussed today. Forgiving student debt is unfair to those who have already paid off their loans. Forgiving student debt perpetuates abuse of the loan system and irresponsible borrowing. Loan forgiveness of college students could lead to negative economic consequences, including inflation and increased taxes. I hope I've persuaded you that forgiving student debt is not only unfair, but also potentially harmful to our economy. as we reflect on the unfairness of erasing debt for some while others struggle, consider this. Is it right to reward those who have not fulfilled their financial responsibilities and not take into account those who have? Thank you for your time. This is Miss Horak. This is Ms. Priscilla. This is Katie. This is Liang. And this is Miss Pucci.